What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hello, my name is Gabby and I post cooking videos and vlogs. So if you're interested, just go ahead and click on that subscribe button down below. So today I'm going to be sharing with all of you guys how I make my albóndigas. So this isn't your typical way to make albóndigas. Typically everyone makes their albóndigas with ground beef, but my family and I prefer ground chicken. One, not only is it healthier, but two, we personally like how it tastes better. If you're interested on learning how to make albóndigas with ground chicken, just keep on watching. And you already know I always have to have my beer with me. I can't ever record these videos without having my little drink with me. So if you like to cook and drink, subscribe down below. Okay, so for this recipe you will be needing ground chicken, of course. I am using a little over 1 pound, and for the albóndigas itself you will be needing, so I will have all of the exact measurements down below, but you will be needing oregano, ground cumin, onion powder, garlic powder, a little bit of salt, 1 egg, 1/4 of an onion, about 30 mint leaves, 1/4 cup of rice. As far as the vegetables go, it's all personal preference. Add whatever vegetables you like. I will be adding a couple of red potatoes, carrots, zucchini, and I did have some celery in my fridge that is just gonna go to waste, so I'm just gonna throw it in there. You're also gonna need 3 tomatoes and a bunch of cilantro. These are the ingredients. Let's get started. Okay, so the very first thing that we're gonna do is I grabbed my tomatoes and I filled them up with water. We're gonna bring it up to a boil. And then my rice, like I mentioned earlier, it's 1/4 cup of rice. We're gonna add 1/2 cup of water. We're just gonna double it. And we're gonna let both of those come up to a boil. Okay, literally about 2 minutes later, our rice is now up to a boil. We're gonna let it boil for about 3 more minutes, making it 5 minutes in total. Okay, now that 5 minutes in total has passed, we're gonna cover it and then turn off the heat. And my tomatoes still need to hurry up and boil. In the meantime, we're gonna go ahead and start dicing up our onion, and I will be using my handy dandy onion slicer. Okay, now that our onion is nice and diced up, we're gonna grab about 1/4 cup of onions, and we're gonna finely chop these because this is what's gonna be going in our albóndigas. Okay, so I'm gonna add that onion that I just chopped up real finely into my ground beef mixture. I'm also gonna add all of my spices that I mentioned earlier. Once again, I'll have the exact measurements down below. Okay, now that my tomatoes are finally up to a boil, what we're gonna do is turn the fire down a little bit to a simmer and then cover it. I'm gonna leave it a little cracked, that way it doesn't overflow. And we'll be back in about 10 minutes for that. Okay, what we're gonna do now is grab these mint leaves and then just chop them up really, really small. And this is what's gonna give it all the flavor, you guys. Okay, so I already added about 1/4 of the onion, all of the spices. Now we're gonna add the mint. We're also gonna go ahead and add our egg. And our rice should look a little something like this. I don't know if you guys can tell. So it's not fully cooked, but it soaked up all of the water. We're just gonna go ahead and throw that in there. Okay, this is what this should be looking like right now. We're gonna grab a little wooden spatula and mix everything together really, really well. Oh my gosh, it smells so freaking good already. I love the smell of mint. Anyway, so this is what it should be looking like. We're just gonna set it aside for a little bit and we're gonna get started on our broth real quick. Okay, so this is my cool little pot that I got at Burlington for like $12. I freaking love it. It's my first time using it. Anyway, so we're gonna turn on the heat. I have the heat on medium right now. We're gonna add a little bit of olive oil. We're gonna wait a minute or so for our oil to get nice and hot. Oh, also about 10 minutes has passed. My tomatoes are done. That's how they should be looking like the skin should be looking wrinkly and coming off almost. So yeah, what we're gonna do now is fully cover it and then turn off the heat completely, and then we'll get back to that. Anyways, my oil is nice and hot now. What we're gonna do, remember that onion that we diced up earlier? We're gonna go ahead and throw it in there. Okay, so we're gonna stir these onions around, let them get nice and yellow and soft. Okay, I don't know if you guys can tell, but my onions are nice and soft and yellow now. So what we're gonna do next is add some water. Remember, this is a soup, so you need a lot of water. Okay, now that we put our water in there, I turned up my heat to high because we wanted to come up to a boil. I'm gonna add, so I didn't add the whole bunch of cilantro. I added about half of it, and I do like adding a little bit of the stems because I feel like they release a really nice flavor. A little bit of salt. Okay, so we got our broth going, but we're not done yet. What we're gonna do now is grab these tomatoes that I showed you guys earlier. We're gonna put these tomatoes in our blender. I recently got the Ninja, you guys, and I freaking love it. We're gonna add 2 cups of water. And that's fresh, clean, filtered, room temperature water. Half teaspoon of cumin. And then we're gonna blend. Hold on, wait 1 second. Hold on, okay? Okay, now that our tomato little mixture thing that we got going on is nice and blended, we're gonna go ahead and strain it and then just throw it in there. Okay, so I'm done straining it. We're gonna throw all of this part away. This is what we did not want in the broth. This is all just like seeds and the skin and all that stuff. Okay, we're gonna give this a nice little stir, and we're gonna start making our actual albóndigas, and that's the first thing that we're gonna throw in here because that is what takes the longest to cook, and then we'll get back to our vegetables when we're done. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is start rolling my albóndigas, and you can make them whatever size you want. I personally like making them kind of on the smaller side because my daughters do eat this, you know, and it's just better for them if they're smaller. So you see, so I'm gonna make them that size, but if you want to make your albóndigas bigger, go right ahead. And also, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I did take off my bracelets and my ring because this can get real messy. So I'm just gonna throw them in this broth as I go, and it's already almost coming to a boil, so it's perfect. And try to make them all the same size, that way they can cook evenly. Oh, and another reason why I like making them a little on the smaller side is because I don't want to be waiting all day for them to cook. Obviously, the smaller they are, the faster they're gonna cook. If you guys know me, you guys know that I love to cook, but sometimes I wish I had somebody to help me. Like, while I'm doing this, somebody could be chopping up the vegetables, you know? That would save me so much time. Who can relate? And if you don't like touching raw meat, because I know that there are some people that don't like the feeling or they don't like handling raw meat, so feel free to use gloves if you want to, but mama ain't raised no. Okay, so we got our albóndigas cooking. I'm gonna go ahead and start chopping up my veggies, and I always like starting off with the vegetable that I know takes the longest to cook because I throw them in as I go. So in this case, the carrot is the one that takes the longest to cook, so I'm gonna go ahead and start off with that one. Quick little side note, make sure you wash all of your veggies, your fruits, everything. Okay, so I went ahead and cut up all of my carrots first. I'm gonna go ahead and throw it in my sopa. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut up my potatoes now, and then with these red potatoes, you don't have to peel them, which is perfect. That's why I like using them. Quick little side note, you guys do not have to cut up your veggies as small as I'm cutting mine. I like cutting mine on the smaller end because my daughters do eat this, so it's just a lot easier for them to eat it when the pieces are smaller. But I know there are some people that like cutting them into long strips like this, and they'll just throw them in there like this, which is perfectly fine, you know. But it's all personal preference, whatever you guys prefer. Okay, so my caldo has been boiling for about 15 minutes now. I'm done cutting up my zucchini. That's the last of my vegetables that I needed to cut, but I usually like waiting to the very end to throw my zucchinis in there because otherwise I don't like them when they get too mushy. In the meantime, what I'm gonna do is taste my broth, see if it's missing any salt, and if it is, we're gonna go ahead and add it. So I went ahead and tasted my caldo, and mine actually did need a little bit of salt, but you know what? I'm actually gonna add some chicken bouillon flavoring. You guys know that this is literally like the best stuff ever, so I'm gonna add 1 tablespoon. That's gonna give it a really good flavor. And now I'm gonna go ahead and add my zucchini. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and cover it and then let it cook for about 5 more minutes. Okay, so an additional 5 minutes has passed and I already went ahead and tasted it. It tastes so freaking good. I'm gonna go ahead and serve myself some on a plate. That way you guys can see how it looks when it's served and ready to be eaten. Okay, this is how it looks when it's plated. Oh my goodness, this looks so freaking bomb. So I topped it off with avocado, and then we also squeezed a little bit of lime and throw some tapatio on there, and then those are my baby's plates. But yes, look at how freaking delicious this looks. I really hope you guys try this, honestly, especially right now since winter is right around the corner. Okay, there you guys have it. This is how I make my albóndigas with ground chicken. Let me know down in the comments if you guys tried it. Let me know what you guys thought about it. Let me know what else you guys want to see. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys on my next video. Bye.